It is not work, Chum. No, scratch it, it not work. Dear cuz. Bro, we not hear nothing we ask bro.
Karen, now line up for me, so. Alright.
Yes, sir, yeah. Now we don't video find this, sir.
Them enough cameraman there.
We not that, so we just start over basic.
Ah.
And a 14 time, a praying time, you know.
Big boss.
The camera angle mash up because you put it right here, so.
Angle.
Yeah, but when the ball like this, so, I have video. Before when I go back on YouTube and watch it, yeah, me have an inner way from there.
I don't really know. It's in there, so and my camera different. People camera.
Now I show you one clip in when your camera, just stay in and back. I just see yellow shirt.
In and back. Yeah, because I couldn't grow now. I mean, I want to tell you, I know I enjoy my so
So when more.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to MG Sports as we continue to show you live coverage of the KFC Under 18 Elite Cup, and we're here at the JFF Technical Center where we will be continuing coverage of the semi-final round with Kingston Football Academy set to take on Harborview in a rematch of last year's semi-final where Harborview ran out 3-0 winners. Harborview, of course, will come into this as slight favorites, finished second in the league phase of the season as they did last year. And not just the fact that they finished a spot above Kingston Football Academy would make them favorites, but the fact that they also beat them twice during the regular season. Coincidentally, on both occasions, they finished 1-0 winners. And I strongly believe that, given that that would be 3 defeats in a row for Kingston Football Academy to Harborview, they'd feel some sort of level of vindication should they get the result that they desired today. Of course, they didn't necessarily have the greatest of back ends of this season, but we know for the talent that they have, they are very much capable of winning this competition. Plethora of options in attack. Damar Wallace, of course, who came in pretty late, got 4 goals. Rubinho Morgan and Keyshawn Lewis with 3 apiece. Miles Hanna also had 3 apiece, but now about to show you the lineups for both teams. But nevertheless, a host of new additions to this KFA attack, including the aforementioned Damar Wallace, but also Dejan Ho Young, who, if I'm wrong, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure he played for Paul's Academy last year. But he has been absolutely sensational since coming in. Very creative, brilliant dribbler, good creator as well. And of course, Dominic Clark, who doesn't start today. He's one of the top scorers in the competition with 5 goals, and should they need him, he's available off the bench. But here's the lineups now, which are very coke in goal. Romy Henry, Kevon Adlam, Kendrick Brown, Demar Wallace, Kiri Senior, Dejon Ho Young, Rashid Payne, Davian Clark, Kevon Holloway, and Kelvin Brown. Obviously coached by Winston Taylor. And as for Harborview, we have Daquan Jemison in goal, Tristan Bethune at the back along with Johnny Collins. We have Jashawn Edwards, who makes his return to this competition, Stephen John Bickford, Peyton Larman, Kajay Fletcher, Jelani Harvey, Zaire Dowse, Javon Buckridge, and of course the talented Tyreek Robinson. Robinson, of course, hasn't been able to play the full complement of games throughout the course of the season due to other commitments, but we know of his quality. He scored a couple of goals thus far on this season, and of course was one of the top scorers last year, one of the players of the competition, in fact, in general.
Is a friend that I say, you know, I'm not watching this video. This video, anytime you have time, what is stuff.
You drop. You there, boy, you drop, Jing.
I want to do it for job, you know. Don't listen.
No, you see, as long as it did it.
Wow. I got yours? Yeah, Eric.
Yo, watch it now. Yeah.
I can have one.
Gerard. Yeah, we don't sit down, we can't start it up.
No.
Just awaiting the referee's whistle, and he eventually does get on the way here. Wallace plays it to Rashid Payne. Bit of an unconventional kickoff there. And Kendrick Brown to Davian Clark, the Jamaica College man. Dejon Ho Young showing off the aforementioned creativity. Tidy on the ball as ever. Oh, they've lost position already here. A pretty dangerous area as well. Wallace plays it out to Henry. Finds his man, cross into the box. Ooh, poor control, and a shot coming in there in a pretty dangerous area. And KFA already looking dangerous on the attack. Pretty poor there in the end from Harborview, the defending. Clark's cross eventually found its way to Kendrick Brown, who just couldn't keep it down. Harborview need to shore up that back line. Of course, they did finish the league phase of the season as the top defensive team in the league, and much of their success this season has been built on the stout nature of that back line. Daquan Jemison finishing as the top goalkeeper for the season in terms of getting into the team of the competition thus far. And of course, special mention must be shown to Tristan Bethune. Polished defender. Lovely talent. And that will go for a throw-in. Of course, Zaire Dowse, the midfield maestro, who at times had to play centre-back due to some injuries. Sometimes drifting into that position just during games as well, even if he didn't start there. He's shown his versatility, but he's joined in midfield with his usual partner today, Stephen John Bickford and Peyton Larman. Jay Fletcher, who's been great himself so far in this competition, scored a couple of goals, but He wins a Tariq Robinson rather wins a free kick here. And those who know of his set piece prowess, he'll be taking this free kick. He'll take it short, however, to Beckford, to Collins, Bethune finds Larman. A lovely pass over the far right hand side to Tariq Robinson. Can take on Kenrick Brown now. Pass closed down, but it gets it to Kajay Fletcher. And Beckford has a goal, but that's blocked. Plays it now into the path of Buckridge. And there's a shot. And it's saved by Javere Cook. And he tried to get a follow-up, but actually made contact with the goalkeeper. As you can see on the replay there, Beckford tried to get the shot away, but that was blocked and eventually put the pass into the path of Buckridge, who I believe has 4 goals on the season despite limited game time. Player with an eye for goal. Himself, what we know, his KBU last season in the Jamaican Premier League. This year, however, was unfortunate not to get on the score sheet in the Jamaican Premier League season, as Harborview did, unfortunately for them, get relegated, but he did feature quite a bit towards the end of this season, and he has eventually become a key figure off the bench at times. Some right back Kevon Adlam earned himself a spot in the team of the season that was announced just a couple of days ago. Harvey tried for an early cross, blocked by Holloway. Plays it in field, trying to find Kenneth Brown, and he does. But the pass afterwards from Damon Wallace eventually makes its way to him. Clark gets it out wide. Ho Young with a cross, looking for a teammate, unable to find him. Goes beyond the teammate, finds on the far side Romy Henry. That's not the greatest cross in the world. Peyton Larman takes it down, a suggestion of handball, but the referee waves play on. And that pass there is intercepted as well, that time by Stephen John Beckford. Now it's Tariq Robinson in a 1v1 with Brown rather. And I thought, for my opinion, that was good defending, but eventually gives up a foul, a free kick. Collins brings it to Bethune. To Edwards. Harborview, the team to be in control of this one thus far, as they often are in their games. So excellent in possession. Not on that occasion, however. And Harvey gives up possession. It will be a throw-in for KFA. Now Henry receives possession, skips away from Peyton Larman. The opposite captain, Brown, looking over long enough for trying to find Kenrick Brown. And he's chased down by Zaire Dose, who boots that out of play. Will be a throw-in for KFA. Here's Clark. Payne finds Clark once more. Got some space and eventually got the shot off, but took a deflection, took all the bite out of it. In the end, a quite comfortable save for Daquan Jemison in goal. Harvey. Pass and a lovely turn from Peyton Larman, but eventually the angle is closed down. Good defending coming in from Kevon Adlam. Harborview won the ball back momentarily, but Rashid Payne's reclaimed possession. Holloway trying to find Henry down that right-hand side, but Jishon Edwards, as he so often is, in control and prevents the danger. Gets the goal kick for Harborview. The under-17 national representative hasn't been able to play similar to Tyreek Robinson hasn't been able to play. The key in ensuring that the young Reggae Boyz made it to the Under-17 World Cup. Oh, trying to find Ho Young with that pass there, but didn't quite come off. Now we'll go all the way out for a throw-in, for a goal kick rather. And Jemison plays that downfield. I believe he was aiming for Larman, but made his way to Kevon Adlam. Romy Henry. Oh, lovely pass into the path of Holloway. Turns, cuts inside, finds Dave. Well, almost found Davian Clark, but good defending coming in there from Stephen John Beckford. Puckridge couldn't quite take that down in time, and that'll be played all the way back to Daquan Jemison. So far in the opening 16 minutes, Harborview have looked the more composed team in possession, yet, however, to really generate any clear-cut opportunities of note. Javon Puckridge did have an opportunity, but aside from that one, it's been pretty quiet at either end in terms of clear-cut opportunities, but as it so often is in games where the caliber of opponents are rather close, it's been tight. It's been a cagey affair thus far. Neither team ready to expose their hand fully, but I suspect as the game wears on, you will start to see some teams slip up. But here's Brown playing it out wide. Oh, and Henry tried the first time shot, just couldn't catch it as cleanly as he perhaps would have wanted, and that will go out for a goal kick. Lovely build-up play there. Great turn from Kenrick Brown. Used the man to his right, Romy Henry, did well to get his head up and find him in space, but I suspect that the quality of the strike was impacted by the fact that he had a couple of players around him, and so he just probably panicked. Ho Young's lost possession to Robinson, but now here's Buckridge. Plays that out wide to Larman now. And tried to disguise the pass for Buckridge, but wasn't quite on the same wavelength as his teammate, and Akiri Sr. does well there to get past his man. Ooh, and Larman almost won the ball back there off of Adlam. Good defending coming in, however. And it's a good intent for the pass. Unable to find Ho Young, however. Beckford fighting with Brown in the middle of the park. Neither Fletcher and Larman were on the same wavelength there, and the lack of communication seen them both lose the ball. Go the other way now to KFA. Brown. Unable to find Clark on that occasion. And Collins Bethune plays it out wide for Robinson now. He can race clear. He's got an opportunity to get a shot away. It eventually does, but the deflection from Akiri Sr. takes all the pace out of the shot, and it will eventually just go into the grateful arms of Javier Coke. Great save there. Well, not a great save. Great opportunity it was. Seemed as though it was going to be a chance of note, but in the end, not much in it. Wallace trying to outmuscle Tristan Bethune. Not many can do that, but he can outsmart him. And he has won a corner kick here. And a lovely view in the background there of the surroundings, the JFF Technical Center in all its glory. State-of-the-art pitch, state-of-the-art buildings, the sort of quality that this competition deserves. It's been a fantastic tournament right throughout, and now we're in the knockout phase, the semi-final, and of course, if you were unaware, we did have the first round played earlier where Mount Pleasant were upset by Portmore United. Corner comes in and it's taking a deflection off a KFA player, I believe. No. Fletcher. Edwards to Jemison. Bit of a risky pass to get it to Zaus there, but he finds Edwards. And Jemison just boots that downfield looking for Larman. And Larman uses his head and wins it. He has support, trying to play into the path of Javon Buckridge. But in the end, good defending by Akiri Senior, and he's content to put that behind for a corner kick now. But that long ball up from Jemison didn't seem as though it was going to mount to much, but Blaine Larman stuck his head where not many would have. And then eventually played into the path of Buckridge. They've won a corner now, thanks to some good defending from Akiri Senior. It will be Robinson to take this set piece. Put it into the box. And it's headed on. Edwards! It taps it home. And Harborview, just as they did last year, have taken the lead from a set piece. And this time it's Jashawn Edwards with the goal. Hasn't played much in this competition this year because of commitments elsewhere. But whenever he has played, he has been special. And even though he does his damage predominantly on the other side of the ball, he's popped up with an important goal here on this night where you have to be at your best. And so far he has. Harborview won both games 1-0 in the league phase of the season. What would it mean if they were to score and win by that scoreline yet again? Hopefully we can get a replay of that goal soon. But now here's Kelvin Brown playing it into the path of Kenrick Brown. A lovely ball there to find Remy Henry. Trying to find Lamar Wallace, unable to. Cross coming in now. Trying to find Davian Clark. But Harborview, some really good defending. And the pass out wide now for Ho Young. And the cross coming in, easily claimed, however. Pounced upon by Deacon Jemison. There's been a key reason as to why they boast the best defense statistically in the league. Of course, they have two excellent centre-backs. Two of the better centre-backs in the league, really. And their full-backs, whether it be Harvey or Shannon Power, have been fantastic. Shannon Power, of course, more of an attacking threat. But whoever it may be, they've all excelled. But Deacon Jemison is also worthy of credit. And I have to say, the depth for KFA has been on display right throughout the season. As mentioned before, a host of new additions came midway. But I just wonder if that perhaps may have messed a bit with the chemistry. Not necessarily have had the sort of results I would have wanted towards the back end of the season. Seemed as though it was clicking in that 4-1 win against Waterhouse. Dejan Ho Young has a strike. Ooh, and the flag does go up for offside, but it seemed as though he was in to score there. Did well to cut inside and get a shot away after beating Johnny Collins, but not the best finish in the world. Not predominantly a goal scorer, Dejan Ho Young. Scored in his first game back, I believe. But aside from that, he's been predominantly playing as like a traditional winger, just trying to create. Buckridge gotten out of a tight space there, but the pass wasn't the best. Beckford to Larmond, to Buckridge. Still going Buckridge, trying to find some space to get the shot away. Eventually does, and he's won himself and his team a corner kick here. Buckridge, as mentioned before, a number of goals this season, and he's put on display just a few moments ago as to just why he's so capable of finding goals. Likes to take risks. Corner coming in from Tyreek Robinson towards the back post, headed on from Dawes. And on this occasion, just not able to turn the set piece into a goal. Of course, for those perhaps maybe just joining, the goal coming in just a couple of minutes ago for Harborview, courtesy of a Jashawn Edwards finish, resulting from a set piece. And on the back of that, KFA 1-0 up on KFA. And the results have been pretty dominant against KFA. Right cross. Well, that's surely offside. And the flag will eventually go up. Robinson has a strike. Perhaps could have looked for Buckridge there instead. But nevertheless, the deflection takes it into the path of Javier Coke. And that was not the greatest pass in the world. We'll go all the way through to Daquan Jemison. Pass on to the path of Davian Clark. Thought he was teeing up a shot there, but instead he's passed it out wide to Ho Young. Cuts inside. Tried to have a go, but good defending in the end. And he's wrestled Peyton Larman off the ball, and he's wanting a free kick. The referee not looking their way, Harborview. And seems eventually he will give a card to Dejan Ho Young, which I'd wager he probably deserves. And there's just confirmation of that yellow card. Dose gets it out wide to Jashawn Edwards. Edwards still going, rather comfortable on the ball for a defender, but he's given the possession away, and a bit of a mistake there from Kevon Holloway. Tried to win it back, but was unable to. Now it's Kajay Fletcher, still going, running down that that left-hand side. Almost won it back, but now KFA have a chance to clear their lines. And Henry seems to want a fall, but he's not going to get it. Throw into Buckridge, who stumbles before he can get the pass off, but he's won a throw in here. And KFA just trying to pass around from the back here, and a bit of a scuffle here between, seems to be Peyton Larman and not sure who exactly, but just a bit of annoyance, and both players will receive a yellow card here, aggrieved with the initial tackle there. And it seems it will be Kevon Holloway who picks up the yellow from KFA, and it will be Peyton Larman of Harborview, the captain, who is awarded the other. Clark. Great first touch to take it away from Dose, but loses possession. Ooh, hefty challenge coming in from Clark on Peyton Larmond, and another yellow card being brandished, this time to Davian Clark. Edwards. That pass will go all the way through. Couldn't find Jelani Harvey or Peyton Larmond. And Javier Cook gives it to Senior. Now into the path of DeMar Wallace. Ooh, almost lost position, but then he turns away from Beckford. Ooh, and will be a yellow card to DeMar Wallace here. Much to the disbelief of a couple of the KFA players, but nevertheless, can't be too many complaints. I mean, the hand did touch him in the face as he was about to turn away. And seems the referees just come over to the KFA bench just to quell an argument, and a yellow card has been brandished to the KFA bench. There's just confirmation of the aforementioned yellow. Wallace picks it up. And as I mentioned before, KV have a number of attacking options off the bench. Keyshawn Lewis, Robinho Morgan, Miles Hanna each have 3 goals. Kevario White as well. And those 3 players, well, those 4 players have not really been a regular part of the starting 11 over the last couple of games. Especially Miles Hanna, who began the season on fire, had 3 in his first 2, but suffered a horrific injury and since then hasn't been able to play. And I suspect if he does make his way onto the pitch today, he'll only be able to play a couple of minutes. And just a moment ago, did get a shot there of Eric Radamakas, who is the assistant coach. He's written down as the assistant coach, but he's also one of the main pushers, I guess, or proponents of youth football in Jamaica and this competition at large. Famously stated early on in this season in an interview with TVJ, I believe, that competitions like this or schoolboy football should really be geared towards development and not necessarily winning it, because at that age, yes, as competitive as you are, the goal should not necessarily always just, all right, how many trophies you win, but it should be about how much better are you getting compared to last season. What new skills are you developing? Are you playing more confidently? What can you do to help yourself or your team? And that kind of approach has really led to the sort of talent you see on display right throughout this competition. It's a very young competition, only the 2nd year in its existence. That will go all the way through for Jemison. Only the 2nd year of the competition's existence, but even so, plenty of players who may not necessarily have been star names and been given a platform to shine thanks to this competition. And the tape doesn't lie. They've been given an opportunity, and thanks to it, they've been getting moves overseas in the, of course, in the case of, oh, wonderful shot coming in. Oh, what a goal! KFA back into this. What a strike. He shot me up real good there. What an effort. Said enough of that. Been quiet for most of the game, Kenrick Brown, but oh, struck that ever so sweetly. My word, what an effort And all of a sudden, KFA are back into it. And this could potentially be an interesting game here. It was always going to be a rather complicated one, given it's a semi-final and these two teams are pretty close to each other in terms of quality, but especially given how psychology works, and you know you're coming up against a team that's beaten you pretty much the last couple of times that you've played them, how would the response be? But how about that for a response by Kenrick Brown? What a finish. Unbelievable effort. And that's headed out of play by Senior. And for a large portion of this game, it's been pretty quiet at either end in terms of clear-cut opportunities, goal-mouth action. But the few chances that KFA have had, they've taken one. And what an effort it was. Kenrick Brown, I'm sure to go on the socials tonight, son, because what a finish. Lovely response. Kenrick Brown to Clark, plays it out wide for Dejan Ho Young, surging forward now, cuts inside, cross towards the back post, but the offside flag does go up in any event, and it will go beyond Kevon Holloway out for a throw in to Harborview. Headed on by Fletcher, reclaimed by Payne, now to Clark. And Collins wins the ball back well, but now it's Beckford. Oh, lovely ball to Buckridge. He's through on goal, and it does go into the net, but sadly won't count as the linesman's flag goes up. I have to say, I wonder about that decision. And it's in moments like this you sort of wish you had some sort of VAR in Jamaica, or at least an offside technology, but nevertheless, the decision is offside and the score remains 1-1. Javon Buckridge unable to get his fifth of the campaign.
Take him.
Tried to play that into the path of the Demar Wallace, unable to on that occasion. Adlam using his hands well to shield the ball off, and eventually gets the ball out to Kelvin Brown. Wide to Dejan Ho Young, trying to get past Collins on that occasion, unable to, and Stephen John Beckford, Harry Robinson wins a free kick. He seems to be a bit annoyed with the physical nature of the tackle there. Collins turns inside. Larman's touch there just a bit heavy, and Henry takes it off his feet. Adlam trying to find Henry down that right hand side, but good defending. Well, at least I thought so, and instead it's been given as a free kick and a yellow card. Desire Dose, I must say, I perhaps I'm kind of speechless, because I agree with I can understand the reception. I can understand the reaction, because from my angle I couldn't necessarily see what exactly had transpired. And actually it's a red card that's been given to Dose. Oh, and that's perhaps going to spoil what has been to this point an amazing game. Oh, that's not a great turn of events. Zardos has been known to struggle at times with just some attitude concerns, and he was disappointed with the initial yellow card decision and seems he's imploded there after the free kick, and now it will be a red, and he's gonna have to take the walk of shame off the pitch. Disappointing end to the night for a player who has shined once more, just as he did last season. Scored actually against KFA in the semi-final last year, but a rather different end to his campaign this time around. And free kick now to be taken by KFA rather, and they've already gotten back into the game with the goal, but they're now a man up. And can they make that advantage count? They have an opportunity here to score from a free kick. Kelvin Brown will take, and that'll go way over. Went for goal from there, and didn't quite come off for him. I must say, a bit of a strange into the half, to say the least. Wouldn't have expected that. Zardos has, as I mentioned before, at times been known to be a bit of a hothead, but he's really complicated things for his Harborview team, who took the lead early in the game thanks to Jashawn Edwards, but that lead has been cancelled out thanks to a wonder strike from that man Kenrick Brown. At the break, the score is Kingston Football Academy 1, Harborview 1. We'll be back after the break. I think of something him say after the yellow card. And to be honest, me never, maybe because I can't see it so good, but I never see why I'm doing a first yellow card. I never see why, honestly. I think I one card. Yeah. No, but they did already done at that point. Yeah, when the red card happened, they did already done.
I think that was the thing about it. Who get the yellow card last? Or red card last?
Robinson.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The most attacking threat. That killed the game. Referee has been from there, based on the comments I must say to Miguel from there, no actually no. Because him no one there. He actually tell Miguel something no one there.
So that's a
again. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Me?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half of the KFC Under 18 League Cup semi-final between Kingston Football Academy and Harborview. Score is currently locked at 1-1 thanks to goals from Jashawn Edwards early in the first half for Harborview, and then the equalizer, a wonderful effort from Kenrick Brown. Of course, right on the stroke of half-time was the matter of a red card for Harborview. They're currently now down to 10 men. As Zaire Dose was shown a second yellow following a fall that eventually led to some dissent that the referee took umbrage with, and consequently led to the decision to send him off. Can't say I blame him for feeling aggrieved about the initial yellow, but nevertheless must have said something or did something that the referee just deemed unacceptable. Ooh, Fletcher receives a high boot there from, I believe, Akiri Senior, and Akiri Senior will go into the book, and that will be a yellow card. It will be a free kick in a pretty dangerous area for Harborview. Of course, you know, Tyreek Robertson can take them and take them well. He'll be perhaps the prime candidate to take this set piece. Not necessarily the best position for a left footer, but given his talent, I wouldn't bet against him, even from this angle. Javier Coke just setting up his wall. Can they get back into this? Oh, not a bad effort. And Coke, the handling not the most excellent of quality, but eventually did make the save. And I have to say, it's been nervy right the way through for both teams at times. Moments of looking below the usual selves in terms of confidence, but nevertheless, been a great game thus far. And Kenneth Brown, who scored a great goal early in the game, he plays that pass off. Now here's Henry to Clark, looking out wide, finds Kevon Adlam. And Kerry Senior finds Rashid Payne to Brown. It seems Harborview have changed tactically there. Instead of playing with traditional wide players, seem to be going for two central strikers, which perhaps a smart decision. And they've opted to go a bit more compact at the back and surrender the width to KFA. They dominated the position in large portions, however, but they're now content to just sit back with a man down, of course. Now here's Kenneth Brown, picks it up and fires from distance. Unable to get it through the bodies, however. A sea of yellow and blue. And Edwards puts that out of play. Throw in now, Senior to Kelvin Brown. Oh, good pass, trying to find Rylan Campbell, who's come off the bench. began the season as a regular starter, but amongst the names that I mentioned before, he's also been a victim of the host of new additions towards the end of the season. Oh, that's headed on towards Lamar Wallace at the back post. Couldn't quite find him, and it will be an offside decision that goes against Kevon Adlam. Will be going all the way through. Bethune. Played downfield, and as I mentioned before, tactically they have switched up quite a bit in terms of their approach. Staying a bit more narrow now, and they have to be, considering the fact that they are now man down. They won't be able to dominate position as they have for much of this game and for much of the season whenever they've come up against anyone, really. Campbell to Senior. Lovely ball over to the right-hand side for Ryan Campbell. To Kevon Adlam, who goes for, well, opted against the cross. Just being rather methodical in their approach, but they play it forward now. Campbell puts it across the face of box. Oh, and KFA have tapped it home. A mistake at the box, and it's a costly error here. Damar Wallace taps in what I believe is his fourth of the competition. I have to say, they were just rather content to just box it around before launching it up there. Wonderful pass toward Ryland Campbell, who put it across the danger zone, and just some miscommunication. Wonderful initial pass from Kelvin Brown there to set that up, and just no communication in the end there between Edwards and the goalkeeper, and that's led to Damar Wallace being able to pounce on it and get his shot away. Rather strange turn of events for Harborview. Surrendered a lead, then eventually went a man down, and now in the second half it's really all unraveling for them. Campbell gets away from a number of players and puts that out wide. KFA coming now, trying to get it to Campbell. Still has possession, and he plays that out to Wallace, I believe, but that's a free kick to Harborview. Lovely pass now into the path of Kajay Fletcher. He's onside, and great defending in the end. I believe coming in from Kelvin Brown, who's still down, but eventually makes his way to his feet. Great tackle. Put his everything into that. And actually, it was Adlam who'd made the last-ditch tackle. Good defending there. Corner coming in now, headed away by KFA. Only as far as Peyton Larman, who went for the first-time effort. Not the greatest strike in the world, but that's gone all the way out to Jashawn Edwards, who after a couple of fakes passes it back to Buckridge with a cross now into the box. And that's cleared by Wallace. Headed on by Harvey, I believe. Campbell, Senior. Oh, Coke slipped and he's giving it away. And the effort coming in from Buckridge just a bit hasty. Didn't need to get the shot away as quickly as he did, in my opinion. Had time, but such is the desperate nature of this team. Since they're behind and they need to do something quickly to get back into it, and so not necessarily thinking straight at the moment, but they're gonna have to remain calm and composed in that final third. And there's a ball that's gone beyond the defense, and somehow it's still onside. Romy Henry has an opportunity to get across in here. He finds Davian Clark, who's tripped up outside the box, gets no foul. The referee content to let it just play on both sides, no foul, and eventually calls a foul for the free kick against KFA. A challenge there on KJ Fletcher taken quickly, and the pass wasn't greatest in the world. Kevon Holloway did some good defending on that occasion. Adlam finds Campbell. Across into the box. No, and hit it on. Ooh, Davian Clark almost getting his header into the back of the net. Great effort there. Campbell, good patience shown. And a good decision to get that cross in. Good execution on the pass, on the cross rather, but the header from Clark just narrowly going wide. Some real danger coming from KFA. You can sense that they are well aware of their position in this game. They're growing in confidence, especially ever since that red card. There's Rashid Payne playing it into the path of Adlam, now senior. Oh, lovely pass from Payne. And if we want to throw in here, KFA, what about that pass from Rashid Payne? Takes some confidence, some courage to display a pass like that. And onto the path of Ryan Campbell. Couldn't sort his feet out in time. Edwards boots that downfield. Payne heads that on to Kelvin Brown. As Payne plays into the path of Adlam. Surging forward, has no options and goes for goal, but good defending, I believe, coming in from either Edwards or Beckford, and that will go all the way through the goalkeeper who boots downfield. Oh, a poor decision there by Brown, and now here's KJ Fletcher racing away down that right hand side, cutting inside. Good defending in the end, coming in there from the KFA backline, but now here's Buckridge. Lovely turn. Peyton Larmond, and that should be a free kick. KJ Fletcher wins the free kick there, and it seems that KFA still have a player on the ground there. And they're just signaling for some attention, medical attention to be given. I believe that is Brown who's on the floor, who will be tended to immediately. And what a turn of events it has been coming into this. You've seen Harborview perhaps as just slight favorites, given that they won the first two games and of course won last year in the semi-final against KFA. But they've had a bit of some good fortune. Harborview, of course, would have dominated the early proceedings, got a goal, and were largely the more composed team in possession, but the red card has changed a lot, and since then it's been all KFA really. But now Harborview have a chance to get back into the game from a dangerous area here. This free kick could be their ticket to getting back into it. Robinson goes! Oh! Good effort. And it seemed for a second there that went in, but angle deceived me. But lovely, lovely effort. Good shot in the end, but great effort. What a strike. I believe the mesh behind the goal perhaps gave the impression that ended up in the back of the net, but nevertheless, score remains KFA 2, Harborview 1. Poor pass and gives it away. Buckridge now into Robinson, using his physicality to. Oh, he scored! Robinson! Harborview back into it. And it's that man again, Bobby. And as he so often does, yet another controversial celebration. Goes over to hug the opposing coach. Not sure why. But wonderful effort from Tyreek Robinson. Lovely ball played into him by Buckridge. And if you remember last year, he gave a rather controversial substitution as well, where he went over to the KFA bench after scoring in a win, where he scored an unbelievable effort. And he's done so once more this time, albeit in a different way, and via a very different goal. Lovely, lovely goal, and Tyreek Robinson, his third of the campaign is secured, and what a time to do it. Brown plays that out wide. And KFA, despite being largely the better team in this second half, find themselves level once more with a Harborview team that now have some renewed belief thanks to that effort from Tyreek Robinson. Cometh the hour, cometh the man. No offside decision. Davian Clark puts into the path of Romy Henry. Has a strike. Oh, what a goal! Unbelievable effort. Oh my word. The talent this young man possesses. What a goal. He's gone over to celebrate with his teammates as well. He scored an amazing long-range effort against Montego Bay United early in the season. And once more, he's popped up for his team when they need him. This time, however, when it matters most, in the playoffs, in the semi-finals, against what seems to be now their rivals, given the amount of controversial clashes they've had over the course of this the short age of this competition. Short tenure, I should say, of this competition. They've really had some exciting clashes with this team. But now his Buckridge had a pretty ambitious effort, to say the least, but didn't quite come off. And I have to say, he just continues to astound, doesn't he? He was unbelievable last year. Well, not last year, this year in the effort to get the Reggae Boyz, the young Reggae Boyz, to their under 17 World Cup once more. And since then, he's just really just grown in confidence and has been fantastic. Oh, it's gone all the way through, and surely that has to be a penalty. Surely that has to be a penalty. And it is indeed. And Jashawn Edwards just doing a bit of trolling there on some of the KFA players. But it most certainly does seem to be a penalty. Pass, a lovely pass from Robinson, and yeah, most definitely. You can see there after the pass from Robinson, you can see there he was taken down by a Kiri Senior, Kajay Fletcher there, who's been winning fouls all night, and Kiri Senior actually picks up a red card, and he too will do the walk of shame. And how quickly the game of football, a game can change. In the blink of an eye, we've gone from them KFA being 2-1 up and looking in complete control really, to now being a man down as well. Both teams are down a man, and an opportunity here for Harborview right outside the box. I thought it was going to be a penalty, but it seems the contact came just outside, and it will be a free kick, which either Peyton Lawman or Tyke Robinson will take. And I have to say, this is shaping up to be some game. These two always produce fireworks when they meet, and today has been no exception. And he takes it low, and it's gone in! Oh my word! What a game we have on our hands. It's him again. And he's gone over to the KFA bench again. And I have to say, he struggled last year in the playoffs. But this year, make no mistake about it, he's on a revenge mission. Didn't like how his season ended last year. And he's on a mission to make amends. 2 wonderful efforts. And especially to do it when your team's a man down. Vindictive celebration to boot, but that is what you get with Tyreek Robinson. Controversy, yes, but plenty of goals, plenty of moments of brilliance. And I have to say, it's been an absolutely excellent game. I thought at times in the first, I was a bit cagey, a bit stiff, seemed a bit as though both teams were just trying to not make a mistake. So cautious tactically, but caution's really been thrown to the wind ever since that red card for Zaidos, and both teams really trying to get some goals, and they've done just that. Wonderful, wonderful effort from Romy Henry, but Tyreek Robinson responds almost immediately. And what more will this game have in store for us? What more does this game have in store for us, really and truly? It remains to be seen, of course, but we have been treated to an absolutely excellent spectacle thus far. There you have a replay of the free kick that tied the game up. Went low, went to the left-hand side. Goalkeeper Javier Coke just couldn't get down fast enough. And once more, he goes over to Winston Taylor to just celebrate in his face. And I believe this young man probably has something against KFA. Not sure what, but every time he scores against KFA, whether it be last year or this year, he seems to relish it. And he's the man for the big occasion. He stepped up when his team needed him with some fantastic finishes. I really feel like he boiled off towards the end of the season, not just in the league phase, but in the playoffs. Didn't really give the best account of himself towards the end of the campaign last year, but he's come back this year, and although he hasn't really played enough games to really make a claim for any awards, he's been absolutely fantastic in spurts, and now with 4 goals to his name on the season, you just begin to wonder just what exactly else does he have up his sleeve if he were to potentially score a hat-trick and win the game for his team, when largely for the second half they've been under the cosh. It's going to turn out to be quite the performance that should be talked about for some time, and there will be a substitution. Rashid Payne, he'll make way for KFA. On comes, I believe, Shaquan Elliott. It's been an absolutely fantastic day full of ups and downs and surprises, not least the first game of the day, the first semi-final of this competition, where Mount Pleasant, the winners of the league phase of the competition, lost to Portmore, and that's cut out there, but a pretty dangerous situation. Coke eventually clears. Ooh, he's headed it back to Robinson. Tries another ambitious effort, but just couldn't keep it down. And I tell you what, had that ended up in the top corner of the net, I would not have been surprised. The confidence on this young man to try an effort with the stakes and the effort like that, with the stakes in this game. Look. Oh, he's a miscue there to Ryland Campbell. He goes for it, the effort, but good save in the end. Was at his near post. Edwards clears downfield towards Buckridge, who heads it on for Robinson. Flick on to Buckridge. He has Fletcher to his... Oh, not the best clearance in the world from Adlam. Fletcher taking on Adlam. Back to Beckford. Oh, and the pass toward Fletcher, not the best in the world. And there, a mistake from Jelani Harvey, as you can see in the replay. Teed up Ryland Campbell for the effort there at goal, but good save coming in from Deacon Jemison. And it seems Shannon Power will be coming onto the pitch. And he's gone a bit further up the pitch than we're used to seeing him. Usually occupies those fullback positions, but not today. Edwards heads that on, but only into the path of Davion Clark, who's trying to get around Bethune, and he does. Has a chance to get into the box here. He's still going, Davion Clark, but good defending in the end from Peyton Larmond. And now here's Robinson. He's off to the races. He can take on his man here, Kelvin Brown. Ooh, trying for the pass for Beckford. Just couldn't quite pick him out. Clark to Brown. He's already scored today, trying to supply a teammate now in Damar Wallace, but couldn't get the pass right. And now here's Elliott on the ball. His first meaningful action of the game. Clark to Henry rather. Holloway trying to find Wallace, unable to. That's put out of play by Edwards. It does seem as though Kerry Senior is down for Kingston Football Academy, and he's holding his left boot. And Campbell takes the throw for Wallace. Cross coming in, headed on by Clark once more. Unable to guide it goalward, just as he was unable to early on in the game. Wonderful cross coming in though, and he's timed his runs really well thus far. Davian Clark, he's just unable to apply the finishing touch as of yet. Just about 10 minutes left in this one, plus possible added time. Clock's winding down. Can either of these teams find a winner? Kajay Fletcher does well to take that down. Tried for the Trivella pass there, unable to have it come off. Larman. Beckford gets it out wide. Cross coming in, looking for Power, unable to find him, but the Larman has headed away. Johnny Collins on the ball now. Harborview still have possession. Beckford eventually loses it, however. It's played out to the right-hand side now for Ryland Campbell. Looks for the crossfield pass, trying to find his man out on that left-hand side, Davian Clark, but good defending in the end from Johnny Collins. Heads that into his goalkeeper's hands. He plays that downfield, looking for Kajay Fletcher. Power. Seems he's won a free kick here for Harborview. Coach just urging them to step up, but to remain calm. Edwards takes the free kick quickly to Larman. Trying to get that out wide to his teammate Robinson, and he does, and he got past his defender. Oh, and he's actually done it! He's only gone and done it! Tyreek Robinson with the hat trick, and that takes his tally to 5 on the tournament, second only behind Samuel Taylor. And he goes over to celebrate with his teammates, and I have to say, what a solo effort. I thought the play was over when the initial save was made by Javier Coke, but he did his job there as a striker, followed up with the effort, and he's punished the KFA defense, who were slow to react. And I have to say, a semi-final hat trick, it does not get better than that. A game of this magnitude, you expect your star man to step up, and he's done just that. Of course, Zaire Dose has been one of, if not their most integral player this season. Of course, he's had to do without Edwards and Robinson, and he's playing well so far in this game. So when he went out, there were questions of how they'd fare, as Kevon Holloway is trying to put Jelani Harvey in a torture chamber here. But Robinson saw that his team was down a man, down a goal, and he stepped up when they needed him. Oh, he's put the defender on the floor there. Kenneth Brown trying to slip it through for Clark, I believe, but unable to. Jemison booting it upfield. Kelvin Brown playing it back to Coke. And I have to say, this isn't a it shouldn't come that much of a surprise. Shouldn't come as that much of a surprise. KFA, while they were the top goal scorers in the league phase of the campaign, by quite some distance, they struggled a bit defensively, and it's really come back to bite them here. They've, in spurts, really threatened going forward, and the applause is rung around here for that goal kick. But as you can see on that replay, as Robinson taps home for his third of the game, they have just not been good enough defensively all season long. They've struggled. The back line hasn't been good enough. The midfield hasn't pressed enough. Not able to squeeze the life out of teams as much as they would want. And as a result, they tend to give up some really, really poor goals. They score a lot, but they give up a lot as well. And Kajay Fletcher will make his way off the pitch. He's going to be substituted. And in his place, it seems to be Malik Wright who will take to the pitch. I believe he scored the winner when these two met early in the season. A 1-0 victory. Malik Wright scored. Of course, they won both those games. Harborview 1-0, but this time they've had to do it the hard way. They've had to do it on the back of attacking firepower. Oh, and Power has gotten past his man and has won a free kick in a dangerous area, but there's some real... Oh! It's a yellow card. And there you can hear the caution in my voices because some fans are around me are arguing that perhaps maybe it's a second yellow, but seems it's not. And instead, both teams still only a man down. But nevertheless, Harborview, since getting back on equal footing, have really been the dominant team, and now they're in the lead, quite comfortable. Not really. Effort. Oh, that goal hits the post. Robinson really growing in confidence as the game wears on. He's feeling it now. He's sensing the vulnerability, and he went for it there. It's going to be a nail-biting finish as they're coming towards the climax of this game. Not long to go for either team. And it's really at this stage about who can hold their nerve. Harborview have, for the large part, built their successful campaign this year on the back of defensive resilience, and they'll have to show it in these few remaining minutes here. Of course, I haven't been as solid as they'd want to be at the back today, but of course, that can be excused thanks to the red card. Oh, don't give up a foul. Oh, it's 4-all. Davian Clark. Lovely, lovely work down that left-hand side. And he played the cross really well, did well to get past his opposing fullback there. And he played that cross really well. And Kevon Holloway taps it home. And it is currently 4-all. And this game is just full of twists and turns. Just when you think it's going to settle down a bit in terms of the amount of drama that has been on show, it just serves up yet another round of mystery and intrigue. And I can't believe what we're witnessing right now. I can't believe what I'm witnessing. Question whether or not Harborview had enough in them to stay resolute defensively for the rest of the game, but seems there's a bit of a commentator's curse there And they've surrendered a goal almost immediately. A pretty poor one at that, pretty poor defending. And now KFA sends blood in the water. Davian Clark teasing. Tried to get it to Demar Wallace, who's caught flat-footed himself. Tyreek Robinson trying to push it beyond Kelvin Brown, but good defending in there coming from the centre-back. Brown. Adlam plays it in field for Elliott. Now is Wallace. Plays it out wide. To Clark. Trying to take on Collins once more. Wallace wants a fall, won't get it. Beckford plays it to Robinson. Beckford gets it back. Surges past two. Trying to go beyond the rest of the defenders. Looking for a fall, won't get it either. Referee content to let them play all afternoon, and he won't stop now. Less than a minute to go in this one. Kenrick Brown plays it out wide to Davian Clark once more, who's had the beating of Gian Collins right throughout this second half. Trying to get past him once more. Wants a foul. And instead he'll have to settle for a corner kick. And to be fair, I have to say I agree with the decision there by the referee. Would have been a bit of a soft decision. And in the end, I think the decision that he's come to is the right one. And a staggering 7 minutes of added time has been added. Can't say I fully agree with that decision. I'm not necessarily sure of where that came from. But it's now an additional 7 minutes. And Miles Hanna, who was mentioned before, started the season on fire before that horrific injury. He's going to make his way back into the team. And what a time to come back into this competition. He had 3 goals in just about 2 games. Can he notch yet another goal? And this time in a really important position. A good corner, but no one there to head that home. That will be a goal kick for Harborview. And as you can see there, Tyreek Robinson, 3 goals on the day. Did really, really well to get his team back into this game, and they seemed just a bit low on confidence after the red card, and especially a red card to such an important player. They really needed a lift, and he's provided some individual magic at times. Wallace plays it out wide to Kenrick Brown. Adlam assessing his options, trying to skip away now from Tyreek Robinson. Plays it back to Javier Coke. We've only played 2 minutes of the 7. Still plenty of time for either to find a winner. Saw some late drama in the previous game as Portmore United found a winner to upset Mount Pleasant. Can we find another late goal here? But the pass from Shannon Power there, not the quality that either his coach or his teammates would have wanted, and his teammates do let him know. And rather inexplicably, the lights have gone in, I can't say the middle of the game, but towards the end of the game. And just stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. I suspect the lights will be coming on shortly. Lights should be coming on shortly. See, slight break. And as you can see there, do not avert your eyes. They are not deceiving you. Yes, the scoreline is 4-all. We've been treated to an absolutely fantastic spectacle. Of course, most games at this stage in this competition or in any competition, really you tend to get some cagey affairs. Neither team is willing to make a mistake, whether it be tactically or emotionally. They don't want to show any signs of weakness, and so it tends to be a very cagey affair. But both these teams, especially as they've both received red cards, have thrown caution to the wind and have really gone for the jugular. But neither team, as of yet, has been able to deliver the knockout blow. At times, we thought that both teams really were down and out. KFA for large portions of the first half, until the red card to Zaire Dose, were largely second best. And then after the goal that equalized from Kenrick Brown, a wonderful effort, by the way, that really sparked some newfound belief for KFA. And after the second half, DeMar Wallace put them in front, and they seem to be the team in the ascendancy. But Tyreek Robinson put on quite the show. And of course, as usual, some rather strange and controversial celebrations as per usual. But he did rather well, and he's on the ascendancy once more here. He has a chance to get a shot away, and good defending coming in from Kelvin Brown once more. He's won a corner kick, however. Fought well to get the ball off of Kevon Adlam, and the angle closed down in the end by Brown. Robinson put the team on his back when they were down 2-1 to get a 4-3 lead, one which they unfortunately surrendered. As the goal from Kevon Holloway tied it up for 4-all, but now a cross comes in from that corner, headed on at the near post. Now it's Miles Hanna trying to plate it into the path there of his teammate Clark. Eventually makes its way to him. Kenrick Brown plays it to Kelvin Brown. Elliott to Kenrick once more. Oh, lovely pass into the path of Miles Hanna. And good goalkeeping coming in there from Deacon Jemison, I believe. And it seems he's paid a bit of a personal price there, as he's taken quite the tumble.
Them time tap off the ball, you know. Me take one for your team, man. Tap off the ball,
Not much, not long to go into this one. We're already beyond the allotted time, but of course, we lost a few minutes thanks to the little incident there. But now it's Harvey trying to play into the path of Beckford, who's onside. Has right, composes himself, can't get the shot away, power slips. Oh, rather unfortunate, and I think, to be honest, Malik Wright could have had a shot earlier. And Miles Hanna fault there, and Jashawn Edwards really took really took a dislike to Miles Hanna getting in his face. And Tyreek Robinson came to back him up there. You can just see on the incident there. Wasn't a friendly discussion at all. Both teams, as I mentioned before, have pretty much developed into rivals over the last 2 years. And I tell you what, they're definitely playing like it.
Come on, please.
Kenneth Brown plays it off to Adlam, to Coke, and that will be it. And I have to say, penalties perhaps fitting into this game, as it's been quite the ride. Ups and downs, moments for both teams where they seemed like they were in control, but in the end, it will come down to their nerve from 12 yards. And it's between the spot takers and the potential heroes of the day, the goalkeepers, who are often at a disadvantage in moments like these, but one of them can step up and be a hero today. Remains to be seen which one, but at the end of regulation time, score is Kingston Football Academy 4, Harborview 4.
German, you're stressed out. German, you're stressed.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just rejoining us, the game in here in the semi-final of the KFC Elite Cup between Harborview and KFA ended 4-all, and now we're getting ready to take penalties. Stephen John Beckford will be the first up. From 12 yards out, he will be the man tasked with the opportunity to put his team in front. Exciting game, and it's gonna come to a very exciting conclusion. If you can remember, KFA did end up on penalties in the third place game against Cavalier. Javier Cook was the hero that day. We'll be hoping for a similar result. Up steps Beckford. It's Beckford, slow run up, and hard and low, and accurate into the far corner. Cook had no chance. Let's put them in front here. And Kevon Holloway will be the first to step up for KFA. He scored the goal to make it 4-all. So he'll be tasked with equalizing here from the spot. He's surprisingly the first man up. Holloway with a similarly slow run up. Ooh, and he sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. Great penalty, emphatic. And that makes it 1-all here on the penalty shootout. Two excellent penalties. Made the goal shake with that one. Quite some power behind it. Now it will be Tyreek Robinson. And oh boy, he was the hero in regulation time as he scored a hat-trick to get his team back into the game. And he comes up with a slow run-up as well. Confident. Oh, and he has all right to be. And he stares at the goalkeeper afterwards. Sent him the wrong way as well. He's put it to the far left, and Harborview up 2-1 now in the penalty shootout. Wonderful effort there from Tyreek Robinson. But now it's Kenrick Brown's turn. And he has the opportunity to level the scores here. Ooh, good penalty. Once more, the goalkeeper is sent the wrong way, and neither team giving up an inch here. Peyton Larmond is the next man up. Sarmond to see guide his team into the lead as the captain, as the leader. Can he do it? And yes, he can. Yes, he can. Once more, goalkeeper sent the wrong way. And that is 3-2, ladies and gentlemen. All 5 penalties up to this point have been taken really, really, really well. DeMar Wallace now will step up for KFA. DeMar Wallace scored in this game and has been great right throughout the competition as well. And he's great from the spot as well. Neither team seemingly able to miss at this point in time. And with how well they've been doing from the spot, whoever is the one who ends up missing their spot kick, it's going to be a really hard blow to recover from. It's going to be really, really devastating for whoever misses, but Shannon Paul will be hoping that his name is not among those. Steps up. Ooh! Narrowly goes in, creeps in, has just enough power to go into that far corner beyond Javier Coke. He had to place that perfectly into the bottom corner, and that he did. Coke, for the first time all night, has guessed right. But it wasn't enough to keep out Shannon Power's powerful effort.
Jeremy, don't take out yet. Don't take out yet.
No man, any evidence. After the reaction.
Take out it when in the next side, okay.
Davian Clark steps up, and once more, Jamison set the wrong way. And it is a 4-all now, just as it was in regulation time. Of course, Davian Clark has some experience with the penalties, given that Jamaica College rather, from the All Island 16.
A friend team. Even now you know one while and
last penalty in this round, Jashawn Edwards, who scored the
You
first goal of the game.
you have too much composure. You have too much composure.
The man to step up.
Bro, you have too much composure as a ball.
The 5th penalty. Hopefully for him. Steps up. Ooh. A slow one. But he's put it in. And Coke arguing that he went against the rules in terms of how slow he took it. Perhaps hesitating a bit too much, but nevertheless, he's gotten away with it there. And now it's all up to this. It's come down to this one moment, this kick for Ryan Campbell, who, right throughout the course of this season, has been a great player for KFA. He's even won of the match award early in the season. He's been at times out of the squad, but he's such a great player. It'd be a shame if he missed. Oh, he buries it. He was at a height that Jamison could have saved, and he dove the right way, but just couldn't get there quick enough. And in the end, Rylan Campbell has kept his team in this contest.
Go by out pen, go look for.
I'm a boss.
We're into sudden death, and Tristan Bethune, centre back. He's going to have to be the one to take this spot kick. And it's nail-biting time now. It's going to be really close. Goalkeepers are seeming to get it right now. And he does get it right. Javier Coke. He's been inching closer and closer. Been guessing right the last couple of times. Unable to make the save. But he does now. And oh no. Harborview, after doing so well to get back into this game, thanks to some heroics from Tyreek Robinson.
MG, you can't want the punch and not cheer for them, you know. You can't want the punch and not cheer for them.
Started this penalty shootout on fire. It seems that it was a bridge too far for Tristan Bethune, and now will be Kelvin Brown stepping up to take this penalty. He's taking a bit of a pause before he steps up. Big moment for him, this young man. Kelvin Brown. Oh, heartbreak for Harborview. And a fantastic celebration to boot. And KFA celebrate wildly as they deserve to. Beaten 1-0 on both occasions by Harborview in the league phase of the competition. Beaten 3-0, I believe, last year in the semi-final by the same opponent. But when it mattered most in the semi-finals this year, they stepped up on the back of a disappointing run of form to the back end of the season and have delivered. Well deserved. And the finals are set, folks. It is set. Kingston Football Academy will be taking on Portmore United for the final of the 2026 Under-18 Elite Cup.
Because I, you know, every minute you because it's just a tree, you know. Like you want punks in the night, yeah.
You're the finals already. You're the finals. And nobody next expect me to reach.
You're not going to penalty.
You're not going to penalty?
They give them what? 2-1. 2-1. Never expect that something.
So you, if you want name back that you instead of give me
Really done that.
instead of give me walkie talkie if you name back. Five.
Someone